The indie market through Twitch broadcasting with me, Trightmare. It is a pleasure to have each and every one of you here today, and I am very glad that there is interest in the Twitch platform, because most of the time when you think about promoting your indie game, you think YouTube. And Twitch, I feel, is a fairly untapped market that not a lot of people have a strategy on how to go about attacking it. How do I get to a broadcaster? How do I get them to realize who I am? Am I going to have to run across this particular broadcaster at a convention? A whole lot of questions and certain things like that I would like to answer for you here today. So let's talk about the format of today's, I almost said broadcast because I'm used to saying that, but today's presentation. It's a bit of a different format for me. We're going to be looking at who the ideal broadcasters are to approach, how to identify these ideal broadcasters in the wild, common promotion campaign business models. How do you actually go about compensating these folks? Because they are running a promotion for you and they should be compensated. A lot of broadcasters work full-time in broadcasting, particularly on the Twitch platform. And we're going to talk about broadcast teams, how they might be more powerful than approaching an individual. And we will talk about actual numbers from a promotion campaign done through an organization I'm affiliated with. But let's talk a little bit about me. My name is Trightmare. I'm not a full-time broadcaster yet. I dream of being a full-time broadcaster, but I am a part-time broadcaster, professional broadcaster on Twitch. I'm a partner of Twitch, which means I am enabled to monetize my broadcast on the Twitch platform. And I am a member of the largest stream team on Twitch, known as Team 2G. And we will be talking about that a bit later. But Team 2G has about 3 million unique followers amongst all of our broadcasters, and there are 38 of us, and growing each day. So who is the ideal candidate to promote? The major question is, and the intuitive behavior is, I want to go for the biggest fish I possibly can. They have a bigger audience, dum-dum. They're going to get you more people playing your game. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is absolutely not true, and you should engage smaller broadcasters. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But the average follow count in the top 50 broadcasters on Twitch is 790,735 followers. Now, on Twitch, there is something called a follower, which says, hey, I like this broadcast. I want to watch again sometime and be notified when you go live. I'm going to follow you. So now I know when you're live. I have the propensity to tune in. Not a guarantee, but I have the propensity to tune in. So the average in the top 50 broadcasters, 790,000. So let's go ahead and draw an arbitrary line in the sand. Let's go ahead, and you'll find that it's not so arbitrary later. I'm going to define today for you, large broadcasters are above approximately 40,000 followers. And that's about 5% of the average top 50. 5% of the average top 50. Anything above that line in the sand, we're going to call those large broadcasters. Anything below that 5% of the average top 50 broadcast follower count, we're going to call those smaller streamers. So here, we're going to talk about some actual data. This is a plot of 25 actual broadcasters on the Twitch platform. We're measuring a few things here. We're going to be measuring the size of the community. That is the size of the circle. Fairly intuitive. So that's how many followers they have. The people who have the propensity to watch. Not a guarantee, but the propensity. So here we see 2 members in the top 50. And if I can mouse over, probably get a digit there for you. All right, it's not going to work in this format, unfortunately. But those are 2 broadcasters in the top 50 count. You can see because they're quite large. Over here, you have a very small broadcaster, 4,000 followers, 400,000 followers for comparison. Now, the x-axis here is your measure of engagement, how engaged your community is. Now, they don't just follow you because they like your broadcast. They're not just followers. They're also subscribers to your broadcast. Like I said earlier, the Twitch platform has 2 things. They have followers and subscribers. The difference between the 2 is I click a follow button, I get a notification when you're online. That's a follower. A subscriber is I'm going to pay you $5.99 a month because I love your broadcast that much. So we're going to be taking a look at engagement, which I'm measuring as being my community overall, my followers, compared to my subscribers. So how many subscribers do I have out of my community? And you'll find that the range is quite low. So that's, of course, community subscribers divided by community as a whole to get a percentage of engagement. Over here, you're going to see the sub count. These are the people who love your broadcast. They pay you money because they love it. There's really no incentive to pay for a subscription other than you love it. You get a few fancy icons in the Twitch platform, you get emotes, and you get a little badge that says, I'm a sub. I love this guy very much, or gal, I should say, guy or gal, this much. So this is what we're looking at. So I am saying that your target audience is a small streamer, and here's why. Their audience is much more engaged. Much more engaged than the typical larger broadcaster. So that means you want an engaged audience, because when I'm engaged and I love this person and I'm throwing $5 at them a month just because, I'm going to want to play games with this person. I'm going to want to play the games that this person plays. And that definitely is par for the course. Now we see some outliers here, some larger broadcasters that are doing quite well on the subscriber count in relation to their overall size. We'll talk about why they're outliers. We'll talk about why the engagement for these smaller streamers is much more in the next slide. So why are the smaller streamers more engaging? Smaller streamers run their shows differently. They have certain affordances that larger streamers don't have. They are entertaining. That goes without saying most of the time. They are interactive, the key element in engaging your community. And they are community driven, another supporting factor to why their community stays engaged. And an engaged viewer, again, is more likely to play the game of the broadcaster. So your target audience is an engaged community, not just a big fish, but a smaller guy with an engaged community. So where do I find the ideal broadcaster? Search in channels of games similar to yours. If it's a platformer, search in platform game channels. Twitch is, for those of you who do not know, Twitch is divided into game channels. You can see a game from Mario 64, a channel for Mario 64, and all broadcasters that are playing Mario 64 are put in one convenient place for you. Everybody who's playing Hearthstone is put in one convenient place for you. In an ideal situation for you, you would like to grow your game's channel on the Twitch platform. But in order to do so, you have to have people playing your game. So you search in the channels of games similar to yours. You search in the channels of games which inspired yours. So if Castlevania inspired your game, look at Castlevania for someone who might enjoy your game as well, who is a broadcaster. Search for channels of games which your audience might enjoy. Let's say it is a platformer and Castlevania did inspire it, but it doesn't mean people who play TF2 might not enjoy playing it as well. Different game, just cast a wide net when you're searching for these key individuals, these smaller streamers. Now who specifically, let's say I'm in Mario 64, who am I looking for? There's a whole wealth of broadcasters here. How do I pick one out of the stack? Here's how you do it. As we discussed before, 0 through 40K followers is the sweet spot. It's what we're arbitrarily, we know the smaller streamers are more engaged, so it's not such an arbitrary distinction that the engaged people are 0 through 40K. Entertaining by your standards. You built the game, you are going to be close to your audience, you know your audience, you enjoy playing your game. It all makes perfect sense. So if this person is entertaining by your standards, engage them. Interactive. They must be reading chat. Oh my goodness. Don't draw a broadcaster out of StarCraft. StarCraft players can't read chat. It's impossible for them. It just doesn't work. So engaging streamers read the chat of their audience. Hey, how are you doing today? Oh yeah, I can't believe I died there either. This, that, or the other. Just banter back and forth with their chat. Community driven. They spend quality time with their audience by playing games with them or talking about games that they like. That is a community-driven person, or person who runs contests. Like, if you beat my speedrun score, I'll give you a free copy of X and X game. You know, people who run promotions within their own community are community-driven. They want to give back to their audience. They're receiving $5 a month, and they're giving you Riot points. They're giving you Steam gift cards. They're giving back to their community. Look for the people who give back, because that's an engaged audience. So here's some business models. Now you're like, all right, I got guy X or gal X. I'm going to approach them. Well, what do you say? Hi, I made a game. I'll pay you to play it. That's cool. How are you going to compensate me? Just like this. You are going to run either one of these campaigns. Pay per click, pay per hours broadcasted, pay per account sign up, either through a promo code or a referral link, pay per event, like beat the speedrun time or participate in a tournament with other broadcasters or just gamers from my game community. And we'll pay you to do that. Pay-per-click can be a click leading either to your website or a download link. And pay-per-account sign-up is much easier to measure because you're actually giving them a promo code. So now I can see how many people who signed up for an account using promo code TRITE, for example. Now I know how to compensate TRITE because he brought 40 people to my game. However you want to go about measuring that worth is totally up to you. But for pay-per-click, it's anywhere ranging from 0.01 cents to 25 cents is huge. So anywhere on that scale if you're thinking about pay-per-click, monetarily speaking. So a new challenger approaches. We've got teams. So now you know that you want to target a smaller broadcaster, and you can do so on a very personal and individual level. But I'm telling you that the best way to do this is by approaching a team of broadcasters, because a team has a different focus. So how do you define a broadcast team? A broadcast team is an organization of professional broadcasters with a similar goal in mind who work together to create a cohesive brand. If you want to see a cohesive brand, look no further. Nerd Fusion, Giant Waffle, Paws on Paws, Dan's Gaming, Bacon Donut, Sevenus. That's a cohesive brand. That's good marketing. They're already out there marketing themselves, and if they enjoy your game, you get a free ride on their platform. Unfortunately, Nerd Fusion is a little bit of a smaller audience than larger broadcast teams such as Team 2G and Main Menu. And we'll talk about this. So types of broadcast team. There are two. One is a social broadcast team. Social means, hey, I'm a big, successful broadcaster, and these are all of my friends. That's it. The Vikings. You've got tons of broadcasting teams that are just like that. Soda Poppin' has one. It's just basically, hey, I'm cool and successful. I like to make these other guys cool and successful because they're my friends. And I don't accept business models. Maybe I'll play your game if I like it. I have a team just to hang out with my buds and say who my buddies are, if that makes sense. A professional broadcast team, like the ones you saw in the previous slide, their goal is to enhance the income of their broadcasters. It is a job. Just like you would find in the YouTube community, it is someone's livelihood. They pay their rent with the money that they get for their broadcast. And there are a lot of them. I myself run mine a little bit different, but I'm still a member of a professional broadcast team because I'm trying to bring success to that broadcast team. So here are some professional broadcast teams again. And here's the email with which you can contact Team 2G. Team 2G has, again, over 3 million followers, unique followers at that. And it is a wonderful way to talk about engaging a larger audience with your indie game. You might also approach Main Menu, the Coalition, Nerd Fusion, or the Arcade. There's some other professional teams. You can search far and wide, there are others, but starting with Team 2G is good because we run promotion campaigns quite regularly. And now we're going to talk about a promotion campaign that we can do for you, and similar things like that. But before that, let's talk about what can these particular teams do for me. A collection of talented and organized broadcasters will simultaneously stream your game for a period of time, create a critical mass audience, generate traffic, engagement, and interest in your game. It's all fairly run-of-the-mill stuff. So let's talk about the actual campaign. This campaign abstract is a 3-week campaign where any broadcaster on the team could participate for a week. So I'm interested, I'll participate in week 1. But let's say I played it for a whole week and I'm like, whoa, I don't really like that game so much. I'm out for week 2. And then now everybody's talking about it in team chat again, so actually, no, I'll play it because week 3 there's a tournament. So I'll get back in on the promotion for week 3. And that's really what it's like. So with a promotions group and with a professional stream team, you can either approach it in many ways. You can say, hey team, play it if you like it, play it if you want to, which is what this campaign was. We've run other campaigns in the past where, guys, it's time to play this game, and you must broadcast it 4 hours a week for the next 5 weeks. So it can range from a wide variety of how you go about engaging it. But this is just a willy-nilly, for fun, play it if you like it, play it whenever you want. You can play it for 5 seconds or 5 minutes in the week, and you get paid per click. Paid per click compensation model. So as a team in the 3-week promotional campaign, we generated 17,135 clicks. 14 out of 40 broadcasters were involved, and that is an average per streamer of 1,443 clicks. So that's not so bad. When you say, hey, play this game, play it for 5 seconds or 5 minutes, there are other times where I have to. When we're running a promotion, I absolutely have to meet these hours, I absolutely have to. So when I got an easier promotion, I was like, all right, play it for a day, play it for an hour. Never played it again that week, right? But still, for our average, we're getting about 1,400. So make sure to work these details out. If you want hours, ask for hours. It's your right. So with a single Team 2G broadcaster, you get, in 1 week, on average, 1,443 clicks, and Team 2G is 38 members strong. And our entire team can run a promotion for you. But it doesn't have to be our team. There are others, as I mentioned. And whatever you want to compensate, put it on the table. It's a negotiation. If you can budget for something, put what you can budget. But on average, you should calculate for something around this kind of traffic if you're going to compensate somebody. And I expect it would be competitive, perhaps in other teams, though they're not quite as large as us. But I thank you very much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. Let's recap what we talked about before. Let's focus on the small broadcasters when looking for a promotion to run for your game. We're going to choose teams to run promotions instead of individual broadcasters if you can budget for it. You're going to search in game channels relatable to your game, and you're going to contact Team 2G, hopefully. So thank you so much for your time. My name is Trightbear. We do have a few minutes for questions and answers, but I do urge you to write down my email, my Twitch channel if you want to give it a follow, and you can add me on Twitter at Trightbear. Were there any questions out there?
Does anyone run Twitch and YouTube campaigns at the same time, or is that an infringement on some?
It's not an infringement, legally speaking. Let's say if there was a marketing firm and I had PewDiePie. There's nothing that's going to stop you from hiring PewDiePie to make a YouTube video for you and having PewDiePie broadcast your game. There's no such thing. The difference is the markets are so vastly different that marketing firms that deal in YouTube, such as Maker Studios, who just got recently bought out by Disney, arguably the most successful YouTube promotions firm, they won't touch Twitch with a 10-foot pole. They don't understand the market. Were there any other questions? Hello.
So you stream locally.
I do.
How are you getting?
I stream globally, but I live locally.
You're physically located locally.
Yes.
How are you getting bandwidth for streaming around here?
Bandwidth? Charter? Well, luckily, it's only about 3,000 Mbps, which is 3 Gbps upload you need. Typically, domestic connections get 5 up. So we're we're good. I have enough bandwidth on top of the broadcast to get latency to my games that are suitable for play. Though, depends on the game. League of Legends is not so suitable on top of a broadcast, at least in this area. Well, you know what? They just switched their servers to Chicago 2 weeks ago. Yeah, they just switched their servers to Chicago, and I have been so disinterested in it because of my latency that I haven't touched it in a couple of weeks. So you know what? That reminds me to broadcast League again sometime soon.
We actually did at my house because we're getting ready to do an extra life event in November.
Oh, excellent.
But we did 4 people.
Yeah.
On our charter connection.
Yep.
It's like 4 up.
Yeah.
With outage troubles.
Yeah.
We're
Were you broadcasting too?
Yeah.
Perfect.
720 at 330 frames a second.
There you go. What bitrate though?
I think it's 1932 or something like that. So it's much lower. But
yeah. There's a difference. Yeah. But that's perfect. That's good. That's excellent. The reason why he's doing the lower bitrate is because when you're a partnered broadcaster, you are able to take advantage of more bandwidth because they do something called transcoding. So if your signal is 3,500 Mbps, they'll provide a separate but equal broadcast at varying steps. So source would be 3,500, high would be 3,000, medium would be about 2,500, low would be 2,000, and mobile would be around about 1,000. And it would transcode that broadcast, and it does additional buffering to your frames to make it look better. So partnered broadcasters actually have an advantage in quality when it comes to unpartnered broadcasters. But I guess that's an incentive to get partnered. Were there any other questions? And please do drop me a line. And also, as I should say, let's go back, admin@team2g.org. We will absolutely run a promotion for you guys. We would love to. You can do a pick and choose, any kind of format. Any format that we talked about, we'll run it for you. So we can do play for fun, all that good business. And that is about it. That is 22 minutes, and I appreciate your time very, very much. Please feel free to approach me if you have any questions after this. And I have some cards if you're interested in that as well. And thank you so much for your time.